guys, it's Lindsay with Pilates on Demand. Today we're going to do a backbending practice. So this is a yoga class. Our focus is backbends. So I'm not going to do a specific warm-up. We'll warm up a little bit, but if your body is not warm from after a workout or after doing some Surya A's, then I'd suggest you start there and then come back to this. So think of this more of specific poses tutorial on backbends, not a yoga class where we flow, just so you know what you're getting into. So it is pretty intermediate advanced, by the way. So we'll come to cat-cows, just to mobilize that spine a bit. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Draw your belly in, so your core muscles will be tight in either the extension or the flexion. So your exhale to round, chin to chest. We're in a deep flexion here of the spine. And then inhale, lengthen the belly. Pull the shoulders off the neck and pull the chest through the arms, lifting the tailbone up. My abs are still tight. Exhale, round the spine, belly button up into the back. Kick the tops of the feet into the floor as you push the hands into the earth. And then inhale, energetically pull your knees and palms together as you lift your tailbone and lift your chest. Last time through, exhale, round, curl the spine. Inhale, arch, open up through the belly. Come to neutral, take the hands a little wider, turn the fingers out, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, and walk your feet into your downward dog. So if you're tighter, I suggest a little bend in the knees, work to lift the tailbone. Palms are firmly pressed into the earth. Rotate the elbows towards the knees without the palms lifting up, and push out of the hands, lengthen the arm bones. Lift the tailbone, draw the navel in. So still in this position, even though we're really extending the back body, I'm not letting my core muscles hang out. So my abs are tight and my ribs are pulled together. That's one thing I really want you to maintain during your back bends. So yeah, we're definitely stretching the core and it feels like the muscles in our chest and ribs are expanding, but we're still holding on to the strength there. Good, and then set your knees down. We'll come into our first back bend, not that the cat-cows weren't. We'll start with our toes tucked, knees hips distance. We're starting with ustrasana. We're gonna start mild and progress. You pick the one that feels nice for you. Palms on your low back. Push the flesh down, lift the navel into the body, draw the elbows together. Now I want you to think of your chest going straight up as if it's gonna touch the ceiling. Now maybe you already feel a big lift here, a big extension. This is gonna be where you stay. Continue to lift up. If you're coming with me, heart is staying tall as the hands come back to the heels. Now I don't want you to rest on the heels. I want you to actually push off the heels and lift your heart up higher. Push your pelvis forward, draw your shoulder blades together. If you'd like, you can add the head hanging back. We're gonna go one step further. Toes will untuck, tops of the feet come to the floor. And then push your pelvis forward, lengthen your low back to the ground, and maybe you let your head hang back behind you. And remember, we're pushing off the heels rather than resting on them. To come out of this position, tighten your abs, tuck your chin, and then lift up. Toes together, knees apart, child's pose. Stretch out that low spine. Good, and then roll it up. We're gonna come into puppy's pose now. So your knees are gonna stay away from your hands. Knees and feet hips distance. Hands are gonna be, let's say, as wide as the yoga mat. I'm gonna walk them way out in front of me. Palms actively planted. Turn your elbows to the floor. Start to drop your chest down as your butt stays high. So child's pose, the butt sits down. Puppy pose, the tailbone stays high. Look forward toward your hands if you can, and pull your chest through your arms. Energetically squeeze your chest muscles together. Draw the shoulder blades together and lift the tailbone high. Now if this is appropriate to go further, the knees are gonna go back, and then the chest will rest down. Walk the knees in, come out of that position. Child's pose. I'm always going to give a counter pose between each stretch or each intense back bend. Good, then roll forward and come to your belly. We're going to start with single-sided bow pose, single-sided Dhanurasana, and then we'll do both. So we're on our elbows, directly underneath the shoulders. If you're tighter, I'd say walk them further forward to give you more space. Otherwise, underneath the shoulders, and we're narrow. Bend the left heel in, grab the outside of the left foot with the palm pointing in, thumb pointing down. Now square yourself off. So roll weight to your left thigh, draw your right shoulder back. Start to kick your left foot into the hand. Think of your shin moving back and then up. So we're not just going straight up to the ceiling, we also want to press back. Now pull your heart forward. If you're flexible, press up onto that right hand, and then we're going height. Big breath in, and exhale, release. Side 2. So left forearm down, elbow underneath shoulder, draw the right heel in, reach back for that right foot with the right hand. Palm faces in, thumb points down. Now square yourself off. Pull the left shoulder on the back, right shoulder, right side of the body pulls forward. Kick the shin back, belly is in, and then the knee lifts, and then maybe you press up onto the palm. So we've got this big extension in the chest. The other thing to pay attention to is to not let that right knee go really wide. Try to hug it in line with the hip, and then take it down. Okay, we're gonna go Dhanurasana. So both feet are coming in, knees in line with hips. You can grab your ankles or the feet. So I'm gonna go ankles. I'm gonna firmly press the front of my hips into the mat, reach my low back towards the back of the wall, the back of the room. Point the toes is what they call it. So I'm not pointed, I'm not flexed, I'm flexing through the ball of my foot. I'm gonna kick my shins back, pull my chest forward, and then start to rise up. Put an imaginary yoga block in between the knees and draw inward. Pull the heart forward, kick the shins back, and then try to breathe. Big breath in, and exhale, release. Okay, we're gonna sit up, bring the legs forward, come into a forward fold, not cueing a straight back here, legs straight out in front of you, round your back. Fold over those legs. And then roll it up. Okay, we're gonna take this into Urdhva Dhanyarasana. So I want you to go really slow. I know that you just wanna get to the pose, but it's gonna look a lot nicer if we peel it back a little bit, okay? Feet hips distance. Imaginary yoga block in between the knees and stand on your feet. So be careful of rolling onto the outer edges of the feet or turning the toes and knees out. That's a big thing I see here. You might even see it with me, but I'm trying to work on it my best. So we're gonna take the hands by the ears with the fingers pointing back towards the shoulders. The first thing you're gonna do is lift your hips. You're gonna come just to the top of your head. Now I want you to squeeze your elbows in. So your elbows should not be pointing to the sides, but rather up to the ceiling. Tuck the toes, draw the belly in, bring weight onto the hands, and then start to press up onto the palms. Fingers should be spread wide and completely planted. Now pull your chest through your arms and reach your knees away from you to the other wall. So we're finding expansion first and foremost. Then roll the inner thighs down. Draw the front of the hip bones in, tighten your low belly, and then pull the top of the arm bone into the back, actively anchoring those shoulder blades together. Head is just hanging and not looking anywhere. Then bend the elbows, tuck the chin, roll down through the spine. Hug your knees into your chest as a counter. Okay, so now we're gonna go single leg Urdhva Dhanyarasana. If that's too much on your spine, you're gonna stick with both feet on the mat. Always take a wrist stretch or shake that out if you need it. So, here we go. Feet are hips distance. Nice and slowly plant those hands. Always come to the top of your head first, because I want you to reset your alignment. This isn't like a beginner thing to do. This is advanced to find all the proper alignments. Elbows in, shoulders down, whole foot planted, we're lifting up. Now I'm gonna walk my feet closer. Good, hug my knees in, come to the ball of my feet. And then plant the right heel down. And we're gonna stretch that left leg up, push out of the hands, anchor those shoulders. And then take the left foot down, stand on it, draw the right leg in, reach it up. Bend the knee, plant it down. Bend the elbows, roll through the spine, lay on your back and hug your knees in. Okay, let's take Plow Pose as a counter for that. So, come to the front of your mat, make sure you have space behind you, reach your legs overhead, lift the tailbone up, chin off the chest. Good, then bend your knees, let them drop down outside the ears, and now the spine will round. Then roll it back down to the floor. Nice job. Okay, we're gonna come into King Pigeon. It doesn't look quite like the last back bends we've done. Those back bends look very curvy, right? But this definitely takes a lot of low back mobility. So we're gonna start with that left pigeon. So your left leg is in front. And remember, this is an advanced class, so if you don't know what pigeon is, watch some of the more beginner videos. So left knee comes forward, we're opening that knee up, reaching that right leg back. Now with King Pigeon, we're not gonna be in the full pigeon, so you're gonna bring that right heel close to you. So we're more lifted up. Now you're going to bend your back leg in, that right leg comes in, grab the inside of the foot and slide your forearm across the foot. So the foot is now in the crease of your right elbow. Squeeze your inner thighs together, reach that left arm up. Bend the left elbow, clasp the hands, draw the right side forward, and think of lifting up. So if you're in this, you can now tell that it's definitely a back bend. Chest tall, lengthen the low back as you lift the heart. Good, and then release, and let's switch sides. So let's thread that right leg through. I'm keeping my heel, my right heel closer to my right hip, drawing my left hip forward and my right hip back. So now I'm gonna pull my left foot in, grab the inside of the foot, and thread the top of the foot along, my Fitbit's in the way, along the inside of that right arm, so it's in the elbow. And hey, if this is where you're at, you could hold this right here by working to square the hips more. Otherwise, we're reaching that right arm up, bending the left elbow. Maybe we've got the clasp, anchoring the shoulders, lifting that gaze. Good, you might have one side that's better than the other, that's normal. Good, and then release, unwind. Let's take a child's pose. Toes together, knees apart. Stretch out that low back. Reach the arms overhead, and shift the hips right and left. Good, and then roll all the way up and take a seat. Nice work, guys. Thank you for joining me for a back bending tutorial. This is Pilates on Demand. My name is Lindsay Bushman. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.